Hi guys, welcome to part 3 of our birdhouse construction project for CFG Craftstruction. In the last one I covered the outside in the papers, showed you how to do that, and I had completed the base. What I've done off camera, I've just gone around the outside and covered the outside in decorative paper. Okay, right, now what we have to do next is we have to put our roof, or not the roof, we have to put tape on the top of our birdhouse so we can hold our roof in place. Okay, so we need to get some construction strips and just mark where that's going. Now what I like to do when you've got an apex like this, I think it's called an apex of the roof, I like to just put the card on and then turn it over and trim off the excess from this side like that. Okay, so we're not going to be adding anything else on there. We need to turn it round and then put another piece over on this side. Do exactly the same process. Over. Well, it doesn't look like it needs it on that one. No, right, that's okay then. So then we want to do it on this side. One. Yeah. Just make sure that that's, yeah, I'm actually going to take that off of there because I think that's going to catch. So I'm going to just take that edge off there. Right, and now we need to do these pieces here. So I'm going to mark that. And then I'm going to marry that up there and then cut that. Now I'm actually going to taper these ones. It round. Actually, what am I doing that for? Yes, it does. Yeah, you do. Yeah. You would only do this if you were doing the roof loose, so you could use have a mini album inside. You would only put tape on one side, so you'd put tape there, there and there. Okay, you wouldn't put it on that side or here. Okay, but as my roof is going to be fixed, now I need to add another piece down here because this is how we're going to join it all together, like this. Right, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the birdhouse onto the base first. That way I can get down inside and make sure that it's pushed in place firmly. I just want to clear away my rubbish. I'm not throwing it on the floor, by the way. I do have a bin behind me. A bit overflowing at the moment, but it's still there. Right, so base. Now, first of all, we need to close this up. So I'm going to take off this side here. I'm going to take that off there as well. Don't want that on there. I don't want it to be too bulky. Okay. Take that. Oh, come on. Then I'm going to bring that round. I don't know whether this is going to work. What I usually try and do is try and marry it up like this. So don't forget, we're not overlapping, we're just butting up the edges like that. All right, I'm going to get inside and give that a good rub down. So there we have the house. I'm just going to fold these roof bits in. Actually, I don't like that, so I am going to just trim that down again. And that side, I think. That's it. Okay. Now you want to take the bottom ones off. All the way around. Just push them back. Get your base. Now I'm going to line it up with my grid. Now you should have a 1/2 inch all the way around. If you want to draw that with pencil, then that's fine. You can do that. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to stand up. I'm going to line it up with, by eyeballing it, should be okay. Once you're happy that it's where you want it, then go put your hand down inside and burnish it down. Give it a good rub down. Okay, and there we have our birdhouse on our base. Right, now the next bit we want to do, before we fit our roof on, we want to just cover these edges here. So what we're going to do with that, you're going to get some paper. I'm going to just use plain cardstock, and we know that this height is 5 inches. So I'm going to cut down, make sure my paper's cut down at 5, and it looks like that's spot on. Quick check. Yeah, and then I'm going to cut it at, I think I will do it at 1 inch. Yeah, I'm going to do 1 inch. And you're going to want 4 of those. I'll do it from this end, I think, because you've got the 4 corners. Now, if you wanted to do it, you want a decorative edge on, then you're going to need to measure your punch. So on some punch, I'll just go and grab one, for example. Let me see. Right, that will do. So take this as an example. This one actually goes right to the edge. Okay, now the actual pattern itself measures 3/4 of an inch. So you would therefore need to cut your paper, I would say, at 2 inches. Do it either side, and then you would still have enough to be able to stick it in place. So that's that one, but I'm not going to bother with mine. I'm going to have a plain edge to it. Saying that though, I might be giving this away, so, oh no, I won't. Right, let's have a look. No, so it's 1/2 inch. half an inch. So you're basically scoring down the middle. Okay. Then I'm going to fold it over, give it a good burnish, and then that is going to fit. Oh, that's annoying. Okay. That's going to fit on the corner like so. Give it a nice corner. Now to stick that down, I'm going to use glue. So I'm going to put some PVA and then I'm going to run it down, just gently stick that in place. Okay, and I'm going to repeat that for all of the four corners. And right down the middle. There we go, and then that goes, that one. You're going to use tape, just be careful when you put it on. It goes on nice and straight. When we're using wet glue, you've got time to give it a little bit of wiggle into position. There we go. Now that's the four corners done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pop our roof on. Okay. Yeah. Right. I forgot. What we need to do is just do these apex here. So you need to get some more card, trim it down. I think if I remember that was 4 inches, wasn't it? That's 3.5. So we want 3.5 inches, and then you're going to go by 1 inch again. Actually, you're only going to need 1/2 inch. Sorry, guys. It's 1/2 inch, not 1 inch. And you're going to need 4 of those. I think I need a new blade for my trimmer. There we are. Right. Now, what we're trying to do is get a nice edge on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go just cut off at an angle like that, and then I'm going to stick that down on there like that. Okay, don't worry about this bit up the top because I'm going to show you what to do with that in a minute. Okay, so actually because I want to get it to marry up, I'm going to take off about 1/8 of an inch off the edge there, but then it should match the other side. She says, yeah, there we go. It's a nice match there then. Okay, glue. Take it right to the edge. Stick that down. And you want to repeat that on all 4 sides. I'm not going to do it at the moment. I can carry on with that afterwards. Right, what we're going to do now is attach the roof. Now you need to pull off all your strips. Pull it off on one side first. You can, if you want to, stick these down like that. Right, and then you want to get your roof. Decide which way you're going to want it round. Now, set it on top. Make sure that you've got the gap going around. Lift up this side and gently stick those down. So what I'm doing is I'm sticking that down on the inside there. Right, now you can lift off the other side. And this is where it gets a bit tricky. What you're going to want to do is just to pull out these just a little bit, just so that when you close it down, they will stick on. And that should stick on there nicely. If you want to, you could always run a bit of glue, bead of glue, down on the inside. In fact, I think I might do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run a bead of glue and then I'm going to stick that down. Trouble with this is you're going to have to hold it in place till it goes off. One side. Okay, and that's stuck on there like that. Right, now, so I'll just move those out of the way because I'm going to need those in a minute. I'll stick that round. Yeah, my glue's not quick drying. Right, now, let's see, I was going to put that little piece of down in through, as I said to you, didn't I? Bit that sticks inside there. If you don't want to do that, what you could do is measure that. So we've got 5 inches. And I'm going to cut a piece at, let's see, 1, 2, Yeah, I'm going to cut it at 2 inches. Then I'm going to get my school board. And I'm going to score down the middle. So I'm scoring at 1 inch. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to score at 1/2 inch. And then 1.5 inches. So you're scoring that 3 times. Then I'm just going to fold it. And I'm going to put score tape down the centre. It's raining again. And then I'm going to fold that over. And I'm going to open this up. And I'm going to add glue. Like that. And then I'm going to sit that on top. Make sure it's nice and straight. Now you could do if you wanted to. Again, use your decorative paper edger and put a nice edge on that top. There we go. Okay. Put it over so it's get it reasonably straight. Now, I'm going to have to go around with some more glue in a minute and attach that on there. Right, so now what we want to do is we want to put in our hole for our bird to get into, well, our imaginary hole. So you want a punch, circle punch. Let me see. I think this is going to be too small here. Sorry guys, I should have got this out earlier. Sure, I've got a 1.5 inch circle punch here somewhere. There it is. I still think that's going to be too small. You got some black card. This is chocolate and I don't think this is going to work. Oh yeah, it has. Right. You're going to punch out a circle. You're going to find the front and you're just going to stick that in place where you want it. There, 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 wherever you want it. I'm going to put mine approximately there. About there. You could put make it a double or a triple hole, whichever you like, by matting it onto some other circles. Then I'm going to pop mine about there. Check that I've got it in the middle. Yeah. Then I want to just stick that down on top of there. So I need to now cut that again. Have I done it the right way? No, I haven't. Right, I'm going to have to cut it that way round. And then turn it round. Sticks on top of there again. So put a bit of glue. On the edge. that doing a good job of sticking that in the middle, didn't I? There we are. Better. Right, now remember these little pieces we had here? These are going to join together and then they are going to sit over the top of our window like that. So first of all, what we need to do is we're going to need to join these two together. Let's see, I'm wondering whether or not I think I'm going to cover it with some decorative paper first. I'm going to use this, what we used before, and I'm just going to cover the whole piece of one side, and I'm going to pop that down in place. Actually, it's going to have to go that way, isn't it? Like that. Same on the other side. Don't forget it's got to be a mirror image. But this time I'm going to leave gap of about 1/8 of an inch, 2 mil, like that. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to rub it in place. My husband's just come in, so unless he can hear me recording that I'm recording, he's going to shout up the stairs, and I do apologise because I shall shout back. There we go. Right, then we've done that. You're going to trim it off. Same on the other side. Then that as I say is going to sit on there like that. Okay, now do the inside. I'm going to cover the inside, and I think I'm going to cover the inside in the green. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to cover this in glue. You're not going to need, obviously doing it this way, you don't need to put construction strips in. Put it over, stick it down. There we are. That side. And that side. Now make sure that it's nice and stuck down before you fold it. And just gently crease that centre. Like that. There we go. Then that is, now you're going to stick that on there like that. Don't forget to make sure your paper's nice and stuck down first. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just take off corners. And then with this, I don't know whether it should be going around that way actually. I don't know if I prefer it that way or that way. Actually, I think it should go that way. Yeah. So you want the side, not the straight edge, but this edge that's going to stick to the back. To do that, you're going to want to put some wet glue on. Okay. Line it up. And hold it down. Now, I've actually rushed this, so it's not perfectly centered, but you can take more time with yours. Okay. Hold it down. And then basically that is the construction of the birdhouse. You can then add your little pieces. You could stick some flowers around it, put a fence around it. That's what I would do. So what I would have done, I would have cut a strip of cardstock, punched the edge, and then I would have attached that to the inside of there. So, and that would have made a little fence all the way around the outside. Okay. If I decide to finish it, which I don't know if I will because I'm not entirely happy with the way it's turned out, I will post some photos. But in the meantime, you've got the other one to go by. Right, guys, if there's any questions, you know where I am. Thanks for watching. Bye.